all messages, all comments. Okay. Well, Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa, and I am here with you. Accordance with titles, yes, today I am roasting about. Yes, today I am roasting Almas Jacobs accordance with titles, and today's topic is artificial earthquake. And now, here we can see. Here is my point is the agreement, probable agreements between Russian women scientist Katerina Tikhonova and Japanese women to be Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. Yes, and that is here today's points. Okay, now let's check at the moments, and here we can see. Now let's check it. Well, now we can see these points. Now here we can. Let's check about the Alma Jacobs. Well, here it is the entire video of Alma Jacob to be 11 minutes. And now, well, what is the a statement of Alma Jacob as a transcript to be in the timestamp to be 0 minutes 0 seconds? That is here. Welcome to Alma Jacob Live. I am Alma Jacobs. You are watching the points. And since the 2026 has been started, there has been, oh my God, there has been the several earthquakes. And now one earthquake is here in Colombia with 7.4 magnitudes. Okay, and now let's check at the points to be noticed. Now let's check at the moments. And now in this cases here is the points here. Previously Alma Jacob shows here the major magnitude major earthquake with the magnitude of 7.0 increments. Here Alma Jacob shows, and in these cases here today's point is about the moments. Well, in April 20, Japan contains the magnitude with 7.4. Okay, and now in these cases, that is the significant moments. And here is artificial earthquake terrorism, where target is where. In this cases, here target is can be Israel, or here target can be United States of America. Okay, now let's check at the moments. And now, but in these cases, in another points, here let's check it. Here Alma Jacob mentions that, well, this earthquake is the symbol. It is the second returns of Jesus Christ. Okay. Now today we would discuss about the moments. What is the realities? And now let's check it about the significant reality at the moment. Well, now let's check it. First of all, here we can see it is an Israeli earthquake. It is Israeli earthquakes reports, and here we could notify. Now, as a custom to be the magnitude to be here 7, here we could see. As a last time, February 6, 2023, morning 3 o'clock, 17 minutes past, here is an earthquake with the magnitude of 7.8. And now let's check at the moments, we contains and duplicate at the points. Now let's check it, what's going on the Japans. In this cases, we know there in Japan's April 20, 2026, here is an artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 7.4. Well, in December 8, 2025, at the night 11 o'clock 15 minutes past, here is an earthquake with the magnitude of 7.6. Okay, and now let's check at the moments. But here is the cases. Well, Now in these cases here we can see. Now let's check it. Who is Sanae Takaichi? Because the topic is about artificial earthquake in Japan, right? Artificial earthquake in Japan. And now in these cases here we can see the points. Well, Sanae Takaichi is an first woman to be Prime Minister of Japan from the liberal democratic parties. Okay. Now she formed as an prime minister from 21st October 21st 2025. Okay. And now in this cases here is the moments. Now in the here we could see. Well, now okay. In October 21st 2025, Sanae Takaichi becomes the Japanese women prime minister, and in December 8, 2025, Japan contains an artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 7.6. And now we have discussed about okay, we have discussed about Katrina Tikhonovas, and now in these cases here is the points to be noticed. Well, now we can see I would discuss at the probable points that what is the reality of Sanae Takaichi to be women to be first prime minister of Japan. And now in this case here we can see the several realities I would discuss in the another live streams, but today's live stream is in the topics of here artificial earthquakes. And now let's check the moments in these cases. And now here we are going to discuss the agreements between Russian women scientist Katherine Tikhonova and Japanese women Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. Hence, here we can see the significant points is about artificial earthquakes moments. And now let's take the points to be noticed. Well, now here I would discuss that how artificial earthquake is possible as a practice in Japan. Yes, because we could see that here was an two artificial earthquakes with the magnitude of 7.6 and 7.4 in the date of here December 8, 2025 and April 20, 2026. Now, before the periods, there was probably no artificial earthquakes, and that is the kingdom's at the points. Okay, first of all, here we can see, now let's take the moments, that how artificial earthquake is possible. Okay, and under the supports of Japanese women Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. Now in these cases here we can see the points. Now first of all here we can see here we could notify well accordance with December 8, 2025 here is an artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 7.6 and now that is the points here. What is the energies of artificial earthquake as a practice in Japan? And now in this cases here is the points that would be like significance. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. Here we could see this first points. Now let's check it here. 10 to the power bracket of what is the equations of artificial earthquakes energies? That would be 10 to the power bracket of 1.5 multiplied by magnitude, where magnitude is 7.6. And now let's check at the moments. In this cases here is the points. Now let's check it. Here is clear cut moments. Now here what is the meaning of the energies? Here energy is just like an 251 balance 188 thousands 643. Oh, I apologize. It would be 251 balance 188 millions 643,150.96 joules. That means, as a round figures, it is clear cut moments that was here 251 balance, here 188,643. I apologize, it is well approximately 252 billion joules. And now here is the cases, that is the moments. Well, now let's check out the points. What is the earthquake features showing in Almas Jacob points? Now we can see here April 20th, Japan contains artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 7.4. Okay. Now in June 7th, here Philippines contains the magnitude with the artificial earthquake with the magnitude to be 7.8. And now here let alone the Venezuela's. And now let's check it. In July 17, Mexico contains that artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 7.3. And here August 10, Colombia contains the artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 7.4. That is the significant moments, and it is the significant notifiers. And now what is the script of transcript of Almas Jacob's statements? Here we can see. It arrives in Indonesia on April 20th. It is everything is written. Okay. Now let's check at the moments about the points. Okay. Now here we can see. I think I would contents and sit at the moments. Now first of all, I would open here some Katherine Tikhonovas. And now let's check it. Now in this cases here we can see these points. What is Almas Jacob points? And Almas Jacob points here we can see in 6 minutes 54 seconds, and Israel would have destroyed the enemy's nation by sending floods, by create artificial earthquakes. And now because both of Israel and United States of America contains what's the artificial earthquake technologies, and that is the points to be noticed. Okay. Now in these cases here we can see in 7 minutes 27 seconds timestamps, Almas Jacob states is they have completely complete their task. Now they are increasing the intensity of earthquake by years 2036. Evidence is upon the as the magnitude would be 7.4 is currently highest magnitude of all 7 in Colombia's. That is the moments at the points to be noted. Okay. Now in these cases here is the points. Now coming to the points to be noticed. Now what is the artificial earthquake nuclear chemicals where it would be recurs? Now let's check out the calculations. Here we can see. The bracket of 10 to the power bracket of 1.5 multiple by words that can be multiple by 7.6 double bracket close, and now that can be divided by words. Here that can be divided by artificial earthquake nuclear chemicals with the temperature of 16,000 joule per kilometer per, a specific heat of 16,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin with the temperatures of words. Here we can see 666 multiple by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And now in these cases here we could see that would be recurrence of the saturations at the moments. And now In this cases, here we could notify that would be here 2.35 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 662 kilograms of artificial earthquake. Now, okay. Well, artificial earthquake chemicals with the temperatures of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, and with the specific heat of what? That can be with the specific heat of uh, 16,000 joule per kilograms per Kelvin. And now in this case is the points to be noticed. Okay. Now let's check at the points so we can see. Now here we could notify the first target would be the Haifa, the city of Israel. That is the targets both of Russian women scientists Katerina Tikhonova and here Japanese women prime ministers Sanae Takaichi. And now in these cases that would be the significant moments at the points, and here that is the symbols at the moments. And now let's check it. What is the points to be noticed? And now we could notify the first of all here is the times. Well, now here we can see the departure of both of Sanae Takaichi and Katerina Tikhonova's would be the departure place as Moscow, the capital city of Russia. And hence there we can see middle route is here Tokyo, the capital city of Japan, Shanghai, the city of China, Borishal, the city of Bangladesh, and somehow it is would be the Haifa, the city of Israel. And now our final destination is Haifa, the city of Israel, where both of Sanae Takaichi and Katerina Tikhonovas have to contact an artificial earthquake attacks. And now, in this cases, here as a support of what? Here as a support of Bangladeshi terrorist supreme leader Jaima Jia. Okay. Now in this cases, here is the times at the moments. Well, now let's check it. What would be the cases? Now let's check it about the driving routes. Well, here flying distances ever 17,971 kilometers, 400 meters. As a round figure, that would be 18,000 kilometers as a flying distance. Now let's check it about the driving distance. What is the driving distance at the points? In this cases, driving distance is almost 27,299 kilometers, 380 meters. As a round figures, that would be here 28,000 kilometers. Okay, as a driving distance. And now here we can see these points. Well, now here we can see here. Now that is the points to be noticed. Now, when the topics of the here we could discuss later the Bangladeshi terrorists, but now in these cases here we can see when the car can contains the passenger like Russian women scientist Katerina Tikhonova and Indian I mean here Japanese women prime minister Sanae Takaichi. And here is my points that what would be here significant moments at the significant terms. In this cases, Sanae Takaichi can contain a probability to be passenger of the Russian terrorist attacks where the main character is Katerina Tikhonova, the women to be Russian scientists to be the daughters of Russian President Vladimir Putin. And now, in this cases, here is the points to be noticed. And now, when the driving distance is 28,000 kilometers, here driving velocity would be 28,000 kilometers per second. And now, here is the point. What is the meaning of driving distance to be? Driving velocity to be 28,000 km per second, where driving distance is 28,000 kilometers. That would be here. The travel timing would be 1 second as a travel time. Now in these cases, we can see when travel time would be 1 second. Here is the probable points. That would be the significant moments. Well, travel time would be 1 second. And here velocity, driving velocity has been discussed. Driving travel time has been discussed. But now let's discuss about the driving kinetic energies. And now in this cases, driving kinetic energies can be discussed about the moments. What is the driving kinetic energies can be discussed? That would be here. Driving kinetic energies would be in these cases. Now let me take a breath. Isaac Newton's kinetic powers methods, where Isaac Newton is Englander Christian scientist. And now in these cases, here we can see the points. Well, when the travel time is 1 second, then what is the definition of the velocity? In these cases, the definition of the velocity is definitely the definitions calculations of driving distance. Okay, when the driving time is 1 second. And now in these cases, we can say the driving distance is 28,000 kilometers. That will be here 28 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 meters. Okay. Now in these cases, here is my questions. That now you can see here is my significant questions. Now what is 28 acres? That would be at 784. Okay. Now in these cases, 784 driving that would be here is the result of 28 acres. Now what is 6 multiplied by 2? That is here 12. Hence, driving distance square is 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 meter square, when travel time square is 1 meter square. Travel time square is 1 second square. And now, in these cases here we can see the moments. On the other hand, they are half of weight of what? Here half of weight of Russian scientist Katherine Tikhonova and Japanese women prime ministers Sanae Takaichi's car's weight, half of weight would be here 1,000 kilograms as a half of weight. And now, what is the kinetic analysis? In this cases, when travel time is 1 second, here kinetic energy is kinetic powers. Hence, that is the point to notice that what is the kinetic energies. Now, in these cases, kinetic energy is here kinetic powers calculation is 1000 multiplied by 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. And now joules. And what is 3 sum by 12? That is 15. And on the other hand, what is 784? Here we can see the kinetic powers is here calculated as 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 in joules. That means it is almost 784 balance megawatts. And now in this case is the moments. And now we can see here is a significant notifiers at the points. Well, here we can notify the significant terms. But now here is the topic, the points. What is the chosen fuels volumes? Because Katherine Tikhonova and Sanae Takaichi's chosen fuel is petrol. And in these cases, we know here specific heat of petrol is 2 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. Petrol automobiles temperature difference is, highest temperature difference is 50 degrees Celsius. And here petrol velocity is, the air cannon density of petrol is 0.7778 kilogram per liters. And now in these cases, here is the moments. What is the necessity of petrol volumes declared by both of Russian women scientists Katerina Tikhonova to be the daughters of Russian President Vladimir Putin and Japanese women Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. That is the significant notifications. And now, as a calculations here, we could see the significant calculations contains the significant threats to be notified. And now, in these cases, here we go. Now let's check at the points to be noticed. And now, what is the meaning of that? Here, meaning is the significant, that would be the dangerous moments. Okay. Well, no excuse, just point to be noticed. Here, calculation is, well, 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 can be divided by bracket of 2 multiplied by 50 multiplied by 0.7778 bracket close. Here 2 multiplied by 50 is always hundreds. And now here we can see as the calculation is 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 13 can be divided by 0.7778. And now in these cases, here is the terms that can be significant as a notifiers. Well, 784 multiplied by 10 to the power 13. Well, that can be divided by words. In this cases, that can be divided by, well, 0.7778 at the moments. Now, in these cases, now what is the really checks? That is almost 10.1 quadrillions liters of petrols. That means it would be almost here 20.2 quadrillions United States dollars as a cost of 10.1 quadrillions liter of petrol. But now here is my questions. That is the significant questions at the points. Well, now we can see. Let's try to contest some questions. Well, what is the Japanese gross domestic products? In 2026, we do not know. Okay. Now let's check at the points. Here we can see that is the significant notifiers. Well, Japanese is okay. Now Japanese gross domestic product in USD in 2026, and now it would be in here search. Okay, now it is almost 4.4 trillions. Okay, now in this cases here we can see that is the points to be noticed. In here we can see this points. Well, Japanese gross domestic product is 4.4 trillions, but well, both of Sanae Takaichi and Katerina Tikhonova are spending here 20.2 trillions. I forget 20.2 quadrillions United States dollars on 10.1 quadrillions liter of petrol of a cars with the velocity of 28,000 km per second, only in the purpose to conduct an artificial earthquake on Haifa, the city of Israel. And now that is the significant moments, and here is the significant stress to be notified. But now in these cases, well, now let's check it. What is the meaning of 20.2 quadrillions United States dollars? Where here the Japanese gross domestic product is 4.4 trillion United States dollars. Now let's check at the moments. And in these cases, here we can see, well, 1 quadrillion can be divided by 1 trillion, and hence the answer is 1000. And now, in these cases, here is the significant points that can be notified at some moments. Well, now here calculations becomes 20,200 that can be divided by 4.4, and in this the cases that the meaning of the points to be here. But in this cases the meaning would be here 4591 times. That means here we can see both of Russian women scientists, Katherine Tikhonova, and Japanese women Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi is destroying the entire Japanese gross domestic product with 45,091 times to arrange here 10.1 quadrillion liters of petrol to contest a car with the velocity of 28,000 km per second, only in the purpose to attack on artificial earthquake attacks on where the artificial earthquake attack will be here in Haifa, the city of Bangladesh. I apologize, Haifa, the city of Israel. And now, in these cases, here is my questions. Then now we can see, but here we can see it is just in practice of artificial earthquake terrorist attack for whom? Sanae Takaichi, the Japanese women prime minister. But it is the real incidence and a real match of the artificial earthquake in Japan. Now in these cases, what is the significant moments at the points? Well, now we can see these moments. Well, now previously we calculate an artificial earthquake nuclear chemicals weights as a perceptions of artificial earthquake in Japan with a magnitude of 7.6 accordance with December 8, 2025. Now here I got just 2 minutes. I will back. Now in these cases, here we can see the points. Now let's take the moments. Now in these cases, there how Sanae Takaichi, the Japanese woman to be prime minister, is hiring Katherine Tikhonova, the Russian woman scientist, to be daughter of Russian President Vladimir Putin, to conduct an artificial earthquake terrorist attack in where the artificial earthquake terrorist attack in Tokyo, the capital city of Japan. In these cases, here is the points that would be clear. Well, now here we can see I could condense the same points. And now, so now in these cases, I am going to change it at the moment. Well, but I think here today's I would be back to our main points. Okay, Tokyo, Japan. And in these cases, I would blank the 3 pages. Well, in these cases, I would blank it. Okay. Now, in the here we can see there would be the clear-cut points. Well, okay. Now, here I would require some 2 minutes, but here we can see it is the direct travel from Moscow, the capital city of Russia, to the Tokyo, the capital city of Japan. Yes, we got found here driving distances 11,545 kilometers 80 meters. As a round figure, that is 12,000 kilometers. Okay. Now we can see the points. Well, velocity would be 12,000 kilometers per second because the driving distance would be 12,000 kilometers, where departure times in Moscow, the capital city of Russia, would be morning 6 o'clock, August 21, 2026, and arrival time would be here August, morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past, August 21st, 2026. And now in these cases, here the travel time would be 1 second because the velocity is 12,000 kilometers per second and the driving distance is 12,000 kilometers. And now in these cases, here is the points to notice that what's going on. And now let's check the points. When travel time is 1 second, here we could see that points 12. In this cases, that would be 12,000 kilometers as a driving distance would be 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 6. Hence, driving distance square is 144 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 meters square. And now we can see this points half of weight of Katrina Tikhonova car would be here 1,000 kilograms. Hence, the kinetic powers of Katrina Tikhonova cars with the travel time to be 1 second would be here 1000 multiplied by 144 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. That means it is almost 144 balance megawatts. And now, here is the points. What is the fuel of Katrina Tikhonova bus cars chosen by both of Katrina Tikhonova and Sanae Takaichi? In this cases, here we can see the points. Sanae Takaichi's significant moments that would be clear-cut points to notice. Now, in these cases, now let me take a breath. Okay, now here fuel is petrol, and petrol calculation is 144 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 can be divided by bracket of 100 multiplied by 0.7778 bracket close. Hence, here calculation would be here, calculation of petrol volumes would be here 144 multiplied by 10 to the power 30 divided by what? That would be here 0.7778. And now, in this cases, here we can see that is the charming points to be noticed. Well, and now let's check it. And in these cases, here is the traffic times at to be noticed. It is almost 144. Well, multiplied by 10 to the power 13. Well, that can be divided by what? Here, that can be divided by 0.7778. And now, let's check it that in these cases, that would be here as in probabilities that would be here 1.9 quadrillions liters of petrols. Now, what is the cost of this? That would be here almost 3.8 quadrillions United States dollars. But now we could notify here Japanese gross domestic product is 4.4 trillion United States dollars. Now here we can see this is the calculation to be here 3800 divided by 4.4. Now let's check at the points to be noticed. Well, it is the private calculations. Here 3800 can be divided by 4.4. Now let's check it. That would be here 864 times. That means in this case is the points with the support of Russian women scientist Katerina Tikhonova. Well, now Sanae Takaichi, the women to be Japanese Prime Minister, is destroying 864 tons of Japanese gross domestic products only in the purpose of what? They are only in the purpose to bring here Katerina Tikhonova, the Russian women scientist to be daughter of Russian President Vladimir Putin, to contact an artificial earthquake in Japan with the magnitude of 7.4 and 7.6. Now 7.6 is calculated now. For here we can see this points. What is the meaning of 7.4 in these cases? Now here we can see this point to be noticed. Well, in this here that would be the significant terms. Okay. Plus. And now in these cases, well now here we could notify at the moments. Now let's contest the calculations to show you. Now here we can see we contest the calculation as bracket of 10 to the power bracket of 1.5, that can be multiplied by we are 7.4. And now in this cases now let's check it. What is the kinetic energies? That would be 126 billion joules as a kinetic energy of artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 7.4. And now let's check at the moments. In these cases, here we can see how much weight of artificial earthquake chemical, nuclear chemicals with the specific heat of 16,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin, and the temperatures to be 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius would be requires. Now in these cases here we can see the calculation is 10 to the power bracket bracket of 10 to the power bracket of 1.5 multiplied by 7.4 double bracket close can be divided by bracket of 16,000 multiplied by 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 double bracket close. And now let's check this. What is the weights calculation? That is 1.2 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 662 kilograms of artificial earthquake nuclear chemicals with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Now in these cases here is the moments. Well, now we can see. Well, now in this case, Japanese women Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi is destroying the 864 times entire Japanese gross domestic products to bring 1.2 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 662 kilograms of artificial earthquake nuclear chemicals with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius with the specific heat of 16,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin under the hand of Russian women scientist Katerina Tikhonova to contact an artificial earthquake on Japan with the magnitude of 7.4. And now that is the significant stress as we could notify. And now in these cases, here is the moments are the points. Now let's check at the points. Now the most calculators are, now let's calculate the points. The most calculators artificial earthquakes in Russia and the most calculated artificial earthquake in United States of America, that would be context and requirements. But now let's check at the points. Here we can see what is the significant temperatures at the moments. And now let's check at the points to be notified. Well, here we can see it is the duplicate layers of earthquake Israel reports. Now let's check at the converted into the one layers of USA. Okay. Now let's check out the points. In these cases, here United States earthquake report when we can notify the United States earthquake reports. Now in these cases, here we can see, well, in July 18, 2021, here is an earthquake with the artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 8.2. Okay, and here in December 5, 2024, here is an artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 7.0. Okay, now in these cases here we can see the points. Now in these cases the coincidence is both of the two artificial earthquakes. Here who is the, now let's check at the moments, who is the Vice President of United States of America in 2021 and 2025, that would be Kamala Harris. Now in these cases here we can see under the presidency, under the period of Kamala Harris to be Vice President of United States of America, here the highest artificial earthquake is recorded with the magnitude to be 8.2. And now let's check at the moments. On the other hand, we can see, well, here we can contest and Russian earthquakes. Now let's back to the Russian earthquakes. And in these cases, here the moments to be noticed. Here, well, July 30, 2025. Here is an earthquake, artificial earthquake in Russia with the magnitude of 8.8. Now, first of all, here we can see. Let's check it. What is the meaning of artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 8.2? Here, as an calculation of artificial earthquake energies and, well, artificial earthquake, nuclear chemicals words. Now in these cases here we can see. Now let's check at the points. So that would be here. Is it clear that is beautiful? Well, the calculation is bracket of 10 to the power. Now let's check it. 10 to the power bracket of here 1.5 multiplied by 8.2. Now let's check at the moments. Bracket close. That is here. What is the points? That would be here 1.996 billion joules as an artificial earthquake energies where the magnitude is 8.2. Now let's calculate the following artificial earthquake energy with the magnitude of 8.2 to be divided by the weight of artificial earthquake nuclear chemicals with the specific heat to be 16,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin with the temperatures would be 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And now let's check at the moments what would be clear cases. And in this case that would be here 1.9 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 661 kilograms of artificial earthquake with the, now in the artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 8.2. Now in this cases here is my points. What is 8.8 as the moments? Now what is the magnitude of 8.8? That is the significant questions. Now here we can see this points. Now 1.5 multiplied by 8.8 is of course here 3 multiplied by 4.4. And now what is 3 multiplied by 4? That is just 12. Hence the 3 multiplied by 1.4 is, 3 multiplied by 4.4 is of course 12.4. And now guys, that will be here 13.2. And in these cases here is my questions. So what is here artificial earthquake energies? And in this case here we can see the points. Well, artificial earthquake energy would be watts bracket of 10 to the power bracket of 1 point, apple guys, bracket of 10 to the power bracket of 3 multiple by 4.4 double bracket close, that is almost watts. In this case that is almost 15.9 balance joules. And now in this cases here is the, oh my gosh, 1 2 3 4, and now it is almost 15.9 trillion joules. And now in this cases here is the moments. What is 15.9 trillion joule? That can be divided by, well, artificial earthquake nuclear chemicals velocity to be, I mean specific heat to be 16,000 joule per kilogram per kelvin multiple by artificial earthquake nuclear chemicals temperature to be 666 multiple by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And now let's take at the moments. What is the meaning of that? In that cases that is almost 1.5 multiple by 10 to the power negative, well, 600 okay, 600 apple guys, it is almost 1.5 multiple by 10 to the power negative 660 kilograms of artificial earthquake nuclear chemicals with the temperature of 666 multiple by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius with the specific heat of 16,000 joule per kilograms per Kelvin. And now in these cases there is the moments at the points, and in this the purpose that what would be the destructions of Japanese gross domestic products can be occurs under the hands of both of your Japanese women Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi and your Russian women scientist Katherine Tikhonova to be the daughters of, well, Russian President Vladimir Putin's. That would be the significant cases. And now let's take at the moments. And here we can see the now here the calculation is clear. And now in this cases the moments at the points. Now our topic is the and here we can see departure is Moscow, Russia, and arrival is here. What is the arrival? The arrival is Tokyo, the capital city of Japan, and that is the middle road. But now let's take at the points. What is the final destinations? And in these cases, well, and here we can see that is the points to be noted. Well, and here you can see, well, here is 3 blank. Well, now Bandar Abbas, port of Iran, is the second middle road. Well, and now on the other hand, here Vatican City is the third middle road, and the final destination is, well, Austin, the city of Texas, provincial state of United States of America. And now let's take at the moments. What's the cases at the points? Here we can see the it is about the flying distance. Now let's check at the flying distance. Here flying distance is 28,796 kilometers, 640 meters. As a round figures, it is the points to be noticed. That was, of course, well, okay. Now let's check it. That was almost 29,000 kilometers as an approximately flying distance. Now flying velocity would be here 29,000 kilometers per second. Hence, the flying time would be 1 second. And in this case, that means that the departure time from Moscow, the capital city of Russia, would be morning 6 o'clock, October 21st, 2026. And arrival time would be morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past. Well, now here you can see departure date and arrival date would be same, August 21st, 2026. Here, departure time would be morning 6 o'clock and arrival time would be morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past. And now, let's get the points to be noticed. And now let's, here, velocity has been discussed, flying timing has been discussed. Now let's discuss about the flying velocities. Now here we can see, it is the unknown points for me, that what is the velocity of, now let's check it at the moment. What is here 29 square, that is 841. Okay. Now let's check at the moment. Well, when the travel time is 1 second, here we know the definition of velocity is a calculated flying distance, and hence here flying the distance is 29,000 kilometers. That means 29 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 meters when the travel time is 1 second. In this case, here flying distance square is 841 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 meters square, because 6 multiplied by 2 is 12. And now let's check at the points. What is the flying? What is the half of weight of Russian women scientist Katherine Tikhonova's private planes as an half of weight? That is here 10 to the power 5 kilograms. I mean 100,000 kilograms. And in these cases, what is the calculated kinetic energies? In these cases at the moment, the calculated kinetic energies is here in 1 second kinetic energy is kinetic powers. Hence, the calculated kinetic powers is what that would be here. Well, for 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 841 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. And now let's check is what is 5 sum by 12, that is 17. Hence the kinetic force is 841 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 joules. That would be 84.1 trillion megawatts. And now let's check at the moments. Now here we can see is the fuel to be chosen by both of Sanae, Takaichi and Russian women scientist Katherine Tikhonova is petrol. Now we can see this point. So here petrol volume would be 841 multiplied by 10 to the power 17 can be divided by bracket of 100 multiplied by 0.778 bracket close. And now as a calculations that would be here, 841 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 can be divided by 0.778. And now in this cases here is the moments. What is the reality checks? And now reality checks is significant difference at the points to be noticed. 841 can be multiplied by 10 to the power 15, and that can be divided by words 0.778. And now let's check at the moments. What the cases that would be here? 1082 quadrillions. What is the moments that would be here? 1082 quadrillions liters of petrol. What is 82 multiplied by 2? That is 164. That would be here. The cost of 1082 quadrillions liters of petrol cost almost here 2164 quadrillions United States dollars. But here we can see that is the points to context an artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 8.8 in Austin, the city of Texas, provincial state of United States of America, where that is actually the current house of Elon Musk, the richest businessman of the world. And now in these cases, here is the moments, that is the significant clarifiers at the points. Well, and now let's check it. Let's contents and the functions we could notify. Sanae Taka. Now, when the entire Japanese gross domestic product is 414 trillion United States dollars, then what is the meaning of the cost of 1082 quadrillion liters of petrol to be 2164 quadrillion United States dollars? Now we know the 1 quadrillion can be divided by 1 trillion is 1000. And now here is the points to be noticed that now in these cases, what's the realities in these points? That would be here 2164. Triple zero. That can be divided by 4.4. And now let's check it. That would be here 491,819 times. That means in these cases, now here you can see, here is the significant points that can be significantly notified. And now let's check it. Now Sanae Takaichi, the woman to be Japanese Prime Minister, is dedicated to destroy the entire Japanese gross domestic product with 491,819 times. On here 1081 quadrillion liter of petrol on the planes of 29,000 km per second, where just 2 hours words. In this case, just 2 hours. Of course, that would be 1.5 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 660 kilograms of artificial earthquake nuclear chemicals with the specific heat of 60,000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin, with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, as under the hand of Russian women scientist Katherine Tikhonova, only to conduct an artificial earthquake with the magnitude of 8.8 on where Austin, the city of Texas, provincial state of United States of America, to be the current house of the world's richest man, Elon Musk. And now that is the significant moments and the points. Now it is the reality of the moments. Now in these cases, here my point to counter Almas Jacobs, that here we could say Katherine Tikhonova is an Islamic Russian Christian woman to be scientist. And now, Sanae Takaichi is the Japanese women Prime Minister to be Buddhist. And here, the victim, who is the victim? Jewish country Israel and the Christian country United States of America. But according with Almas Jacobs, both of Israel and United States of America contains the words, the here significant technology to increase the earthquakes. And it is the signal of the second returns of Jesus Christ, according with Luke Bible, Surah 21, Ayat 11, where The harsh reality is here. The prediction was that the second return of Jesus Christ from the kingdom of heavens would contain the signal of the several earthquakes in different places. But reality is that today is 2026 and Jesus Christ could not travel 2000 light years even. And now, in this case here we can see Almas Jacob's, Jesus Christ's second return's propaganda has been false. And now in these cases, we know it was a saturated live streams because we did not discuss about here proper points in live stream at the moment. Now let's say this, I will discuss the points. And now, it is my time to contest and dinners. See you then. Khuda. Love you. And now, here we can see, it is my last stream to roast Almas Jacobs, and here I would return to roast whom? Well, Esperanza Castellero Lia Mazares. And now, what is the topic? The topic is to, what is the topic? Here topic is to react on an Israeli YouTubers. And now see you then. Follow us.